Dez Bryant just tweeted he plans to play 2 more years, but it won't be with the Ravens.
That's cool. I hope we get Juju.
Yes, sir. Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's it's Tuesday, so you know what that means. It's time for another edition of Sports for You.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm John. That's Nick Freeze.
What it do? What it do?
And at an undisclosed location, my man Mark. What's good?
What's going on? How y'all feeling?
Yeah, man, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, for real, huh?
What
Your
happened?
camera is super clear.
Oh yeah. I gotta have that photography shit up here.
You got some. Somebody.
Yeah, camera.
So you doing your thing, man. You doing your thing. We ain't gonna knock, man. Thank y'all for joining us on a Tuesday, episode 37.
37.
On Facebook Live and YouTube, of course. Of course, like Sports for You on YouTube, on Facebook, like Townhouse Media on Facebook. Subscribe to the Townhouse Media YouTube channel. Of course, you can download it wherever you find your digital podcasts. Apple, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Google, Amazon Music, Stitcher, and Verbal. And always follow us on Instagram at Sports for You Podcast and Townhouse Media Now. How y'all brothers feeling tonight? Of course, I also have to not acknowledge, I apologize. The Podfather, of course, working the mic, working the board. The board.
Whoa.
Yeah, edit that part.
Working the what?
One only Ben ready.
Hey, relax.
How y'all brothers feeling tonight?
Great. It's a great night.
It's a great night, but it's been a rough day today. So let's. What you say, Mark?
Yeah.
So let's just address obviously the big story today. Let's address the big story of the day. So let's get a little serious, and then we're gonna have some fun. Obviously, if you haven't been watching the news all day, it's been everywhere, every channel from 2, 4, 5, 7, 11, ESPN, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, CNBC, CNN.
Townhouse Media.
Yes. And now here on Townhouse Media's YouTube channel, the news today, Tiger Woods, the great golf legend, 15-time majors winner, was in a single car accident this morning out here in LA near the Palos Verdes in the Rolling Hills area about a little after 7 o'clock this morning. Car rolled into a terrain, and we just praying that he's for his health and for his strength, praying for his family, his kids, most importantly.
Most definitely.
And obviously, Tiger was out here for the weekend. You know, we just had the Genesis Open, which is basically his tournament that he hosts. He was doing something for the Golf Channel, him, Dwayne Wade, David Spade. But and then this happens this morning. He was actually, I think, on his way to film for the Golf Channel this morning when the accident happened. So we want to just keep Tiger in prayer and keep this family in prayer, because obviously this is not, obviously you don't want this to you don't want bad things to happen when you're away, especially away from your family.
Yeah, most definitely. This is
Right.
It's a very bad situation. You know, thankfully, you know, it's only none of his injuries are life threatening, and
Praise God for that.
yeah, most definitely considering the car rolled over and everything, he had to get taken out with the jaws of life, which is insane. But the fact that he only has basically, you know, he has like compound fractures and he has a shattered ankle. That I'll be cool if I was him. I'll be perfectly fine with those injuries.
Well, yeah.
Compared to what really could have happened.
Listening to the press conference from the sheriff's department, they said if it wasn't for the cushioning in the Genesis that he was renting, obviously this Hyundai Genesis, they're the sponsors, so it was a sponsored vehicle. It could have been worse.
Ooh, they stock about to go through the roof.
Yeah, you better put some money on them.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
So now, what you think, B?
I don't know if that'll help, but he walked away with what he
He's right now he has a compound fracture and a shattered ankle.
That's all he has off a car that flipped over. And then they had to use the jaws of life to get him out the car.
Hey, did B say he walked away with?
I just told that just went over. That just totally went over the roof of the studio right now.
That was a dark joke. That was funny though.
I'm sorry, guys.
All right, Meek Mill.
Oh yeah, we gonna talk about it. Yeah, I so can't wait to talk about him. This guy.
Oh man, my bad, guys.
Shout out to Lisa from the Football Den group on Facebook in the chat. So we want to just keep Tiger in prayer and hoping that he recovers well, just so he can be there for his family. Obviously, golf comes secondary right now, and he probably wasn't playing no time soon. He had just had surgery, had spinal surgery just recently, so he was probably just recuperating anyway. So he was just there, just for the PR. But then this happened, so we just want him to heal up and get well. But we are going to hear this, but we are going to celebrate though, because as we hinted on last week, on Friday was our boy Mark's birthday. Wow, what the?
He just mute me.
I don't know what he was doing. I just don't think he was happy you were celebrating. I think he's jealous you're celebrating your B-Day, bro. I don't know what that is. Maybe steal something from the football pick segment during the season.
I got robbed a few times.
So
Get that birthday shit up out of here.
So happy birthday, Mark. You know what I'm saying? Alex is celebrating right now. That's why he's not in the studio with us, but he's doing his thing and hoping that he's living it up, obviously. And we'll see you back next week when you're back done celebrating. Shout out to District X.
Most definitely.
Let's talk some NBA, gentlemen. So we can get this show on the road. Down without the celebration. Let's talk some hoops.
Shout out to Dallas up 93-87.
Yes, right now we're in the studio watching Dallas, the Mavericks, and the Celtics. Mavericks up 6, and we have 3 All-Stars in this game, and we'll get to that in a moment, in a little while.
Technically, it's 4.
Well, yeah, Kemba has been an All-Star. Well, 5 because Porzingis is not playing, but he's been an All-Star.
Yeah.
But 3 who will be playing in this year's All-Star game are on the floor tonight in this game. But let's talk some NBA. The Brooklyn Nets, man, they continue to be the story, and now it seems like everybody's hopping on the bandwagon. They defeated the Lakers Thursday with no KD, and the Lakers didn't have no Anthony Davis or Dennis Schroeder, and we're gonna get to the Lakers in a minute. And then they beat my Lakers, and then they beat Nick Freeze's Clippers on Sunday.
Robbed, but it's all good.
In some controversial fashion, but
yeah, of course, flop.
But right now, the Nets are playing well. Obviously, they're looking like the team that can represent the East in the finals, and they're playing better defense. There's been the one criticism that we've had about this team. They can put up 150 points, but they're going to give up 150 points as well. But they have been playing better defense.
Yes,
so I've been very impressed. But I want to see how this is when KD gets back. Your thoughts, fellas?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I saw they came out here to Pacific and they said they swept the Pacific, but the Pacific wasn't really 100% when they came up over here. So even in the first game when the Clippers played against them, I think Paul George didn't play in that game, and it was no Patrick Beverly.
Right.
And I think and even in the second game, that was the first game with everybody that came back with the one with the controversial ending. But they played the Lakers, who are they're injured. They played. I think wasn't playing either. Dennis Schroeder, right? He wasn't playing in that game.
He's right now in COVID protocol.
Yep.
For contact tracing.
Yeah. So they were lucky enough to play the top 2 teams when they weren't really at their best. Don't get me wrong, they didn't have Kevin Durant, but I mean, when you have Kyrie Irving and James Harden, that really doesn't That's really no excuse one of them being hurt.
Pretty much. So they're playing well, and James Harden's playing well.
Yeah.
Kyrie played well, but they obviously said they played some teams who are pretty much worn out their full strength, which brings us to the Lakers.
Uh-oh.
This isn't good.
Let me first, as a member of the Showtime Forum family, hashtag free us on Twitter. Let's woosah. Let's woosah, Laker Nation. Yes, we're on a 3-game losing streak. We were last year as well.
It was 4 last year.
Well, 4. Well, yeah, we might. It'll be 4 after tomorrow, probably after we play Utah. But we've been down this road before, and Tatum is just he just went what they call the offensive foul. But I'm not worried. I know everyone in the media is all concerned over LeBron's minutes, but I'm like this: the man spends over $1 million to keep himself in the tip-top condition for this marathon. So I'm not worried. Do I want him playing 43 minutes? No.
No way.
Do I want the Lakers to be blowing 17-point leads? No. Do I want them to stop missing wide-open threes and having scoreless droughts of 5 or more minutes? No. Yes. Please. Stop. But I'm not worried, but I am concerned on some things. I'm concerned about how players are not stepping up with no AD and no Dennis Schroeder. This is a moment for a THT, for a Markieff Morris, for a Wes Matthews, for Caruso. And, man, did he have the most boneheaded play last night.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And I defend Caruso, but that play when he basically let Bertans get the ball and then pass it to Russ. When you want to send them to the free throw line. I don't get it. I didn't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, especially it's fun that you brought up THT, and he was such a he's basically the hot topic for a minute, and this what we want to know. This is the moment where, like you said, where he could really show his value, and he's who we thought he was.
Yeah, and obviously, and that's not. And Mark, get your thoughts, but I know what THT can be, but I think he's now getting brought down to reality
very fast.
What you think, Mark?
I feel like the Lakers is going to be all right, man. Laker fans just realize that it's a marathon, man, and that you ain't winning a championship right now. So they go have their ups and downs. AD hurt, so they go take a couple losses, but by the time playoffs come, they'll be all right.
I feel the same way, so I'm not worried. But I know everyone is on their panic meter; they're ready to jump out the window. But I'm telling you guys, just slow down. We went through this with Kobe and Shaq. Went through this with Kobe and Powell. We went through this last year with LeBron and AD. Now we're going through it with LeBron and AD's on the shelf and no Dennis Schroeder. I'm damn concerned about the fact that we don't have a shot blocker because Marc Gasol's defense hasn't been the best.
I kept telling people that.
It hasn't been the best. But I do think they'll find somebody on the buyout market. There's obviously everyone brought up DeMarcus Cousins because he's getting waived by Houston today.
That's not the right play.
But he's pretty much more than what we already have. Now we're hearing Hassan Whiteside. I'm not really the biggest Whiteside fan, but I think if he's around LeBron and a good culture, but he was around a good culture in Miami too, and he's
in a great culture over there, not just a good culture.
Yeah, so but I trust Pelinka to make the right move, so I'm not really worried.
He's waiting on I wouldn't be surprised if JaVale McGee ended up back over there.
But there's a problem.
What's that?
That's what I was thinking.
He has to get traded, then bought out before he comes back to the Lakers. Because you have to be at least away from your team for a full year from the last time you played. So with Boogie, he didn't play any games with the Lakers, so that's why he was able to sign tomorrow.
Who made that rule up?
They made that rule when they did the new CBA after the knockout. Because I think this was like the DeAndre Jordan rule. Part of the DeAndre Jordan rule.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
So we're gonna talk also now. Let's talk about the All-Star. We was here last week. We pretty much predicted how the All-Star game, how the All-Star starters would go. Obviously, y'all. I would say this. Mark and Nick pretty much pricked it perfectly. I was picking with my heart because I wanted Dame to start, but it didn't happen. So Luka got the start. So these are the West All-Star starters. It's LeBron, the Joker, Kawhi, Steph, and Luka. In the East, it's KD, Giannis, Embiid, Bradley Beal, and Kyrie. I would have put Harden over Kyrie, but I get it. It was the fan vote.
I would put James Harden over Bradley Beal.
Yeah, but when has the guy who's led the league in scoring never started an All-Star? Well, in modern era, I should say.
Even with that, he's still not better than James Harden.
No, he's not. But but obviously, a lot of it was sympathy votes with Bradley Beal because a lot of people felt he got snubbed last year from the All-Star game. He should have been on NBA.
He could have been voted in still, just like a regular backup.
Well, he would definitely been. He definitely was going to be an All-Star. So
yeah,
but he's named a guard. So today was announced the reserves. So I'm gonna get your thoughts on these. Here, start with the West. You had AD, Rudy Gobert, Zion.
Not surprised.
Chris Paul, Dame, Donovan Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
Donovan Mitchell. I said, let me even the front court first, so I can remember. So it was AD, Gobert, and Zion. Your guards are Dame and Donovan Mitchell, and then you had Chris Paul and Paul George. There it is. And Chris Paul and Paul George were the final two spots. Now the West will have an injury replacement, so we'll come back to that moment. And then here's the East. You have Julius Randle. Shout out.
Most definitely.
By the way, now that Julius Randle's an All-Star, so far every Laker lottery pick except Lonzo has made an All-Star team since they left the Lakers. You have Nikola Vucevic. You have Jason Tatum, James Harden, Jaylen Brown, Zach LaVine, and Ben Simmons. And beyond the studio, producer Ben Reddy is a diehard Mavericks fan, and they're up 11 on the Celtics.
He just made the last three-pointer before break.
Jalen Brunson?
Yep.
Yeah, he went to the school that beat North Carolina in the championship. He was on that team, too.
Oh!
Kemba Walker with the 4-point play.
Yeah, that's the best play he made so far.
That's cardiac Kemba.
Yeah.
So, any objections to the reserves?
Nah. I think the reserves they would pick right. I would have who would you have beside to replace Ben Simmons?
That might be the problem. I don't know yet.
Well, I have one.
Who?
I thought Sabonis should have been over Vucevic.
Nah.
Let me tell you why. They pretty much their numbers are identical, but the Pacers got a better record.
Yeah, the Pacers also have better talent.
Well, that's
you
true
can also
too.
Take both of. You can also take Ben Simmons off to both of them on. There you go. That's how you do it.
So you say take off Ben Simmons and put Sabonis.
Ooh, cold 3-pointer Tatum.
I'm telling you, that boy, he'll be a Laker in 5 years.
Yeah, right.
Yes, he will. That's young Kobe. I'm telling y'all, not because he's the next Kobe, but he's a disciple of the Mamba Academy. Yeah. First with honors, Jason Tatum.
Man, he about to replace what? You see his face?
Hey man, James Johnson, he's a dude, man.
Like he's about to cry over there.
Hey man, I know this.
James Johnson.
I know this. No dude want to fight James Johnson. I know that much. I know this. James Johnson. You know what his nickname is, B?
It sound like his nickname already.
No, his nickname. Nope. His nickname. He got like a black belt in Jitsu and Jitsu. They call him Bloodsport.
Yep. He did,
that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, I don't think he's lost yet.
Who in his MMA career?
Yeah, I don't think he's lost.
I don't think so. No, you'll see no dudes try to fight him in the league. They walk the other direction.
Huh? Watch out.
But I would have took Sabonis over Vucevic. And now and then obviously the West is easy. Me and Nick talked about it before, Mark. Obviously, I would have put Devin Booker over Chris Paul, but your point, Nick, was proven right because
what were the Suns before Chris Paul was there? Soon as Chris Paul get there, they're a playoff team.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So obviously, I think Devin Booker's going to be the guy who replaces who end up replacing Anthony Davis in the All-Star game. So next week we're gonna Mark, you be in studio next week, right?
Wait, Karl Anthony Towns didn't make it?
No, he played.
Oh, he hasn't played that much this year either. So yeah, that's true.
Oh, anyway, we got to talk about the Timberwolves. They're foul.
Man, they was on my calling out names.
Oh, so we're definitely gonna talk about them.
That's out of pocket.
Next week, I want to beat again. I want to drop some bombs. Also, I'll wait till you get here. So I want to get you guys' thoughts on this. But I have a suggestion for next week's show in regard to the All-Star game. By the way, so they announced obviously the 3-point. They're gonna have the 3-point shootout and the skills competition in the pregame. Then is the game.
Killing.
Oh boy, Cardiac! Here comes Cardiac.
Kimba is killing right now.
Here goes Cardiac Kimba. That's UConn Kimba right there.
Yeah, that's exactly who that is.
That's UConn Kimba right there. Luka better go get it, Luka. Why are you passing the?
What are you doing? You was in the paint.
Luka said the ball. Luka said ball, please.
Oh my God,
that was
horrible.
horrible.
That's off of Jason Tatum.
Yep. But so that's what I think. So then the game will be the game will start at 5, and then at halftime will be the dunk contest.
That's different.
That's because they're trying to have everything done in one day.
Nobody who's in the All-Star game can be. Nobody who's in the All-Star game can be in the dunk contest.
They haven't said. Because I know where you're thinking. There's no way I want to see a dunk contest without Zion.
Yeah, for real.
Right.
There's no way.
Well, the Stars choose not.
I'll put it like
now.
this: you have Zion and Zach LaVine in the All-Star game.
Yeah, that's two people that should be in the dunk contest right there.
Go make up for the way y'all basically robbed Aaron Gordon last year.
Every year.
Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion. And then who will be the fourth person? Obviously, the champ Derrick Jones, but I don't know if he's healthy enough to.
I don't think he's gonna compete this year.
Oh, I got it. John Morant.
Maybe.
Or the guy who had the dunk.
Let him do it.
Or the guy who had the dunk of the year so far.
Anthony Edwards. I don't know if he got flashy dunks like that, but he's most definitely very good.
He's definitely a power dunker though.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely shown so far this year why he was number 1 overall pick as well.
Yeah.
He been balling.
Yeah, he's most definitely, especially him considering he's a guard.
All right, so B's back in the studio. So I want to get you guys' opinion on something I want to do for next week's show. So Mark will be back in the studio next week, and I want to. Next week will also be the All-Star Game draft. They're gonna have it on Thursday, but since we meet on Tuesday, I want to see if GM Mark and GM Nick Freeze can show LeBron and KD how to draft the right All-Star team.
Oh yeah.
I want to announce. So the breaking news. The first ever Sports for You All-Star. Oh, got the sounder?
What?
Next Tuesday will be the first ever Sports for You All-Star Draft. We'll have Team Nick versus Team Mark. I will be playing the role as commissioner. Producer Ben Reddy will be judging. Will judge the teams to see who picked who drafted the better roster. So, and then obviously, one of y'all will start with LeBron, the other one will start with KD. So we'll flip, and then we'll flip a coin to see who wins, who picks first, and whoever picks first will have the first pick, and then whoever loses the coin toss, they'll pick first when it comes to picking the reserves. You guys are wilding out already. So never said coin toss. No. Toss a quarter, flip a coin. But that's what we'll do. That's how we'll do it next week.
Toss and flip.
Shout out to my boy Nick over here. Commenting.
Said power dunks never win contests.
Facts.
Well, that's true.
Put some respect on Bill's name. Nick, I ain't trying to hear none of this.
More so, I don't think it's finesse. I think it's more so creativity.
It's creativity.
Because obviously you done probably seen every dunk like 10 million times.
That's why DeMar DeRozan can never win.
By the way, was he a snub?
I I think he should have went farther in the dunk contest than what he did, but he never got snubbed.
Was he snubbed this year for an All-Star?
Some
people are making an argument.
To be honest, no, because I'm like, who can you who would you take out of the West and replace it with DeMar DeRozan?
I don't see it either. I agree. What about Trae Young?
No, he shouldn't have made it.
Huh?
I don't think Trae Young should have made it this year.
Wow.
So you don't think Trae Young was snubbed?
Well, I mean, look, this is the reason why I said that, because basically James Harden took Trae Young's spot. Let's just be honest. If James Harden wasn't up over there in the East, that spot would go to Trae Young.
Right.
That's just how I feel about it. So, or maybe, you know, you could maybe say replacing Ben Simmons with him, but you know, I don't know.
So So I think obviously Devin Booker to me was the biggest snub, but but by tomorrow he'll be an All-Star because Anthony Davis is not going to be an All-Star game. That was not a foul.
Wait, they tried to say that was a foul? He didn't even do nothing.
Right. So right now, Phoenix Suns got 2 players in the All-Star game. Well, they got 2 players in the All-Star game.
They'll have 2 players in the All-Star game. It'll be 2. At the end of the day, they'll have 2 Suns, 2 Jazz, 2 Lakers. Even though AD's not playing, 2 Clippers. That's 8 right there, and then
that's half the team.
Yeah, that's more than half the team.
Yeah, for real.
So, but that's good. But shout out to all those who made the All-Star team, and good luck. Be safe and enjoy the festivities, whatever they are going to be. By the way, they announced that Gladys Knight's going to sing the anthem at this year's All-Star game.
Oh, that's dope.
They'll have
show me the Midnight Train in Georgia.
Yeah, she's something. Matter of fact, see, I can't even say that, man. I'm not, cause she just sung did she just sing the anthem at the Super Bowl? I wasn't gonna be disrespectful. I didn't be disrespectful then. I'm not gonna be disrespectful now. Shout out to Gladys Knight. Alyssa Cara, she's gonna sing the Canadian national anthem. Exactly. That's why I'm never gonna disrespect Gladys Knight. That versus her and Patti LaBelle was sick.
She's a woman and all.
Stop. Don't even go that route, player. You know dang well I love women. So anyway.
It's all good. She got to avoid the Midnight Train in Georgia.
He took them PR classes.
Kimber made all those shots and didn't miss this one.
Yeah, that means he's going to probably make the next 2.
The Puerto Rican class?
So he's probably going to make no, my daughter's mom was texting me. She feels about the whole Tiger Woods thing is sickening. And I was like, yeah. It is.
Whoa.
Wow.
Good defensive play.
You got to make that.
You got to make that.
You got to make that.
Oh.
Now, Tatum said, give me the ball. Tatum said, give me the ball.
Nope.
Tatum said, give me the ball. Okay. Jaylen Brown said, shut up, John. Okay.
Best player on the Celtics.
Not named Jason.
Okay. The person who's made that shot?
Jason Tatum said, yeah, that's not wearing number 0.
Who, Russ?
No.
Mark, you hear this?
Jason Tatum easy, the best player on that team.
Yeah. He'll show it. He was going to show it in the All-Star game. He's like, yeah, I played lesser games and I still made the All-Star game. Let's talk some football, gentlemen. There was a trade that was made between the last week. We talked about it. You heard it here first. Carson Wentz is now an Indianapolis coach. Well, he's not officially a coach, but he will be an Indianapolis coach. The Philadelphia Eagles Thursday sent Carson Wentz to the Indianapolis Colts
for crumbs.
For a third round pick and a conditional second round pick. By the way, I got to add this also for the All-Star game. When they do the player introductions, they're going to have Grambling State's marching band and FAMU's marching band part of the festivities.
HBCU, baby.
Yeah,
let's go.
So Carson Wentz is now going to be a Indianapolis coach. He's reunited with his former OC, Frank Wright. And like I said, you say that, Nick, the Eagles just basically got crumbs. Nobody else made an offer for Carson Wentz. They were out there lying, saying that teams were willing to give up first-round picks when they really weren't. And now he's a coach. And basically the second-round pick is conditional. That could be a first-round pick. If Carson Wentz plays 75% of the snaps, it turns into a first round pick. But knowing Chris Ballard and Frank Wright, they'll probably be like, you know what, we're winning this game pretty comfortable. You don't have to come on out, Carson, and make sure he plays only 70% of the snaps, and then make sure that's only a second round pick that the Eagles get. What's Luka gonna do?
Why did y'all switch?
Wow, step back. Oh!
I knew that was gonna happen. What did you switch for?
He said, y'all can't guard me.
That was stupid.
Luka said, y'all can't guard me.
Y'all got Dice over here guarding this dude. Are you serious?
Yeah.
That was dumb.
Yeah, you sliced and diced them on.
Look.
What is that? First of all, what? Yeah.
Are you serious?
What are you doing?
What are you? You can't guard him.
You said that's why 27 is meant for free safeties, and you were not that on that play.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, people are saying like, the coach should be favored to win and all this stuff in the division. I do not agree with that at all. Because even though the Colts defense is still very good, I still don't think that Carson Wentz is that big of an upgrade to say that they're better than the Titans already, in my personal opinion. At this moment right now. I don't know what's going to happen once offseason starts and everything. You know, maybe by then, you know, they add a couple of pieces up over there on offense. They get them they get an upgrade at running back. You know, their running backs are all right. So they get an upgrade.
Who running backs all right?
The Colts.
Yeah, they got Jonathan Taylor.
That's what I'm saying. I forgot they're good at running back. But you know, get them another receiver probably up over there.
Because T.Y. is a free agent.
Yeah, because I don't think he's gonna stay up over there. Me personally, they just took on a big contract. They may not be able to afford to keep him.
We'll see. And by the way, shout out to Michael Pittman. They asked him would he give him the number 11 the Carson Wentz. He said I texted him already. He said no.
Yeah, why would he? He's not nobody. Oh. We about to see. Let's see what Tatum does.
He said give me the ball. He said inbound, and then he said pass it right back. Inbound, or pass it right back.
Or it's gonna be cardiac.
Mark, what did you think of the trade?
I think that's good for Carson Wentz, man, and good for Philly.
By the way,
I think that
Jaylen Brown
told you back for Frank Wright still be good.
Wow, Jaylen Brown just made a layup, Mark. Now Luka, he's gonna shoot it,
and he makes it. That's game.
Oh,
told you. I told you.
This dude is nice, man.
They had a freaking power forward guarding them again.
So this what happened. So Jaylen Brown just basically
tied the game
post game and made the layup, tied the game. Luka just came down, stepped back from like 35 and just drained it, and there's only 1/10 of a second left. And by the way, who's playing defense on the Celtics?
They better add more time on there because he made it at 3.4.
Man, well, yeah.
We'll watch.
Let's see. And okay, so
yeah, that's what they're looking at right now.
They got time for a catch and shoot.
Yeah,
catch and shoot. But man, who's playing defense?
I don't know why they don't have either Tatum or Brown guarding them.
Well, first of all, no disrespect to Jason Tatum. He's not the best defender. That would have been. Jaylen Brown would have been the one who should have been guarding Luka or picked him up 94 feet if that's the case.
I don't know what that was.
Yep, should have been 94 feet.
But you gonna really Luka saying, okay, y'all just gonna really let me dribble the ball across half court.
Oh, they kept it at .1. Oh wow.
So they must didn't have 31. Luka got 31, 10, and 8. So now it's being reported that the Eagles, you know what? Teams, people who are watching and listening. If your team is a good franchise, be thankful.
For real.
Don't have a clown car like the Philadelphia Eagles. Because now it's being reported that they might draft another quarterback and have another open competition with Jalen Hurts.
What was the point of them? Well, now look. This is something different because now they're in a predicament where they have a new coach. Now that's where it could be different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, Luka killed them. Yeah. But that's where it's different. You know, they got a new coach over there, and, you know, maybe he don't want a dude like Jalen Hurts as his quarterback.
Right. But,
you know, he doesn't have to he has no obligation to keep him over there. You know, that was
Jalen Hurts is not his guy.
Mm-hmm. He's not obligated to keep him at all. He didn't draft him. You know, so
But you gotta wonder though if this dude took the job. He obviously he came from Indianapolis, so he knows what he was getting himself into going to Philly. I know Frank Wright gave him a heads up for what to expect going there. So you gotta tell me that Jalen Hurts had to be in the equation, but they're not even in a place where they can draft a quarterback, and if they do, they're reaching for one. You're gonna take Mac Jones at number 6? What if all the quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3, 4 like we said in last week's mock?
That would be insane. That would be the craziest thing I've ever seen. I've never ever would think that. I think the last time the most quarterbacks I've seen drafted, if I recent memory in the first round was like a few years ago. I think
2018.
Yeah, that was when what you call the name got drafted.
That was the Baker draft.
Baker draft.
Baker, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Rosen, Lamar, all in the
Hold
first.
on, before we continue this, you just missed the craziest ending to your own team's game.
Yeah, man.
Luka hit 2 crazy shots to win the game.
Trust me,
off the chain.
It's all over social media right now.
It is insane the shots he just made. Man,
yeah. And Luka said, y'all really gonna not double team me, huh?
For real.
And Damian Lillard saying the same thing right now too.
Yeah, he got to make it though. But go ahead.
But yeah, you look at the 2018 draft was the last time you had 5 quarterbacks go in the first round, and now they're talking about maybe 4 going at least in the top 15. So I don't know what the Eagles are going to do. Obviously, they need help. They're going to release Alshon Jeffrey when free agency start.
I mean, I would expect him to.
They already said it. Deshaun Jackson already posted on Instagram. He's getting released.
They about to get rid of Malik Jackson too.
They're just a dump. They're a train wreck right now.
No, I think Deshaun Jackson may go to.
I think he might end up here with the Rams.
I was thinking the same thing. He might end up back out here. One of them two.
I think he'll end up with Green Bay.
Nah, well, Green Bay needs somebody like him like that. They need somebody else over there besides Devontae Adams.
Speaking of J.J. Watt, it's been real quiet on that. It's been
Buffalo.
real quiet. By the way, there's a tweet that J.J. Watt tweeted, and everyone just assumed there was he was coming to Buffalo. I don't know what it said, but it has something to do with something in Buffalo. But everyone thinks that means he's going to the Bills. I don't think nobody knows what J.J. Watt's going to do.
I don't think J.J. Watt knows what J.J. Watt's going to do. He said in a tweet that it takes him an hour to order food from DoorDash. He said, so you can only imagine what it is for me to choose what team I want to play for.
Pretty much. Speaking of other quarterbacks, Ben Roethlisberger.
Get up out of here.
So
Garbage, man.
the Marquise Pouncey, his longtime center from the Steelers, he retired. Him and his brother, they both retired.
So what, they back to the dope game?
Wow. y'all be dissing them Florida dudes. Y'all be dissing them Florida dudes, man.
I'm just telling the truth.
But he retired, and now let's talk. Well, what happens with Ben Roethlisberger? Now there's pretty much some people think he needs to retire. It was first saying the Steelers probably want to move in another direction. They signed Dwayne Haskins, but obviously that's the direction they're going. They're just a developmental guy. By the way, shout out to Mike Tomlin. Prayers for Mike Tomlin. He was diagnosed with COVID yesterday.
Yeah, for real. Hope everything goes well with him.
So Mike Tomlin, the Steelers coach.
Yeah, Omar. You heard me? I said Omar.
Yeah, Omar Epps. Omar Epps' brother, man. But we hope he's doing well. He said he had minimum symptoms and he's in good health, so therefore that's a positive sign.
This year for the Steelers, I'm predicting like a big change because
Juju's gone.
Juju's most definitely gone.
Bud Dupree might be gone.
Yeah, they only had him on a money. They only had him on a franchise, and he proved his worth by the way how the defense looked after he got hurt.
Right.
He proved that he's most definitely a pivotal part of that defense. It's not just TJ up over there and Stephen Tuitt. But there's a possibility they may not they may get rid of James Conner as well.
Why?
That's what I heard. They say they may get rid of him. His injury issues or whatever. So I don't know. I think they're offensively, they're going in a whole different direction. And I think it may take them a year or two to caught up to where their defense is
Right.
because their defense is ready. So, they're still going to be a tough team to beat, regardless of, us over there talking about their schedule being easy. Their defense is really, really good.
Oh, shout out one of my mentors, Dwayne Dreer, my pops. Well, pops got you in the chat. He's been on the men too. So glad he's watching. Hope you're resting. But now it came out today that Ben was coming back. Boss, that he's coming back. And the Steelers want him back. So now, who else do you bring back? Because we just said we think a lot of those guys are finna be gone, and I think they're finna hit the restart button.
Yeah, so that's the reason why I don't think J.J. Watt can go up over there because it's too much uncertainty up over there. J.J. Watt, is at a point in his career where he's pretty much established. He's one of the best defensive players we didn't see come into the league.
Right.
He's a Hall of Famer guaranteed. So at this point, he's playing to win. So he's only gonna go to a situation where he thinks he's gonna win it. A lot of people say, "Oh, he should go to Tampa or whatever," but he may not want to go to Tampa. It may not work over there. But there are other teams that are contenders where he can make a big impact on. He can make a big impact, like you said, with Buffalo.
Right.
He can make a big impact on the Packers, the team I think he's going to end up going to.
I got them first.
Yeah. There's a couple other teams. You never know. He might even if he goes to a team like a Baltimore or something, he can make a big impact on that team. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of teams where if he goes up over there, they're like contending teams, or even teams that are like that have like subpar defenses, and he goes up over there. He's a big upgrade for anybody's defense.
I think he needs to just go to. He needs. And they are saying, Peter King said it this morning on Dan Patrick, it's not about the money with him right now.
Nah, he already has money.
So obviously, he got he also got the Reebok deal as well.
Yeah.
So he's not worried about that. So he's not worried about the money.
Yeah, he donates so much of money every year anyway, so money's not really an issue with him.
So, by the way, my daughter's mother was asking, where's Juju going? He might end up with the Raiders.
I think a lot of people have been saying that, like the Raiders already said that they have interest in him if he doesn't sign up over there.
Because you guys are going to release Tyrell Williams when the league year start.
Yeah, we get rid of Tyrell Williams. We may end up getting rid of both of our guards. We're going to have a lot of money that's going to get getting freed up. And he and his skill set, he's a good receiver. He's not garbage. Everybody knows that. So, his skill set bringing up over there to our team, I give us a consistent receiver at the very least. So, I could, if it's not up over there, I could see him going to.
I got Juju to the Rams.
I'm about to say, to one of the LA teams.
I could see that if I want to keep my eye on that whole situation because they was talking about Marvin Jones might want to follow Stafford to LA.
I think Marvin Jones is from out here.
Yeah, he went to. Well, I know he went to Cal. I don't know.
I think he's from out here. I think Marvin Jones is from out here. I'm gonna look that up.
But speaking of quarterbacks. I don't know if any of y'all had this whole segment and calling out names, but we might as well just address it because it's bigger than that. The Cam Newton situation that happened on Sunday, and B, you can chime in as well. If y'all haven't seen the video, Cam Newton had his 7-7 Under Armour camp on over the weekend, and there was this high school football player on one of the teams, and he felt the need to talk trash to Cam Newton. Basically told Cam, You're poor. You're about to be poor. You're about to be a free agent. Cam went back at the kids, say, "I'm rich already," and where's your dad? And the kids kept talking. He just basically kept saying, "Where's your dad? I don't talk to kids." So about maybe hours later, video shows Cam's trying to teach the kid, I'm not even mad what you said, but he tried to put him up on game because you can't go out there and just keep woofing. And Nick, you're gonna have a good perspective on it because you said something interesting in our group chat. So let me first talk as a fan, as a person who's dealt with kids before. I would have felt offended if for anybody from Under Armour who had this kid on their team, embarrassed. As a parent, that boy been unlucky he's not my son because he wouldn't have been able to walk for the next 3 days.
Yeah, for real. That was disrespectful.
I don't care.
Okay,
you don't disrespect adults. I don't care just because he's Cam Newton, he's a celebrity. He's still an adult. You're still a kid. Point blank. Period.
For real.
And you also cannot be caught on social media doing that.
Nope.
Because they're going to show that to other 7-on-7 camps, and then you're going to have a track record. They're going to show that to other teams you played in high school. Because you can say this to that kid because he's going to try to wolf back at you, and you can mess up his game.
Yeah. Obviously, the kid's not trash because, Cam Newton doesn't do this garbage camps.
Yeah.
So obviously, the kid is good.
So the kid knows something.
Exactly.
But you can't do that. So I'm going to let you guys chime in. But that's what I felt. I thought it was embarrassing. I felt sorry for the kid's parents. He came out and apologized, which was cool and everything. But you gotta be smart, and you can't. And obviously, he did it because he did it for clout for social media.
He did it because it was funny.
Exactly
for his circle, it was funny.
Yeah, because his homeboys was egging him on, telling him keep going. But you gotta have self-awareness, and you trying to get to the pros. That's gonna follow you, brother.
He should look at LeAngelo Ball.
Go ahead, Nick and Mark. Let y'all have it first.
I'll let Marco talk about this first.
I kind of feel like you, John. I feel like I'm on the parents more than the kid. And he shouldn't be doing that with Cam Newton. He can be a friendly, mess talking to each other, and leave it at that. Excuse me. You don't have to. It don't have to go that far all the time. I like the way Cam handled it because it could have went a whole different way. But I'm with John with that. Like I'm more concerned about where the parents was and how come your kid is doing this.
Right.
Facts. All right. Y'all address the parental issue of it. I'm gonna address the other issue of it. So this kid is over there talking all this craziness about Cam Newton, right?
Right.
So let's break this down. Cam Newton has won at every single level except the NFL, and he's been to a Super Bowl.
He's a former MVP.
He's a former MVP. He's a Heisman winner. He won the national championship. He won the championship at community college. He was a community college player of the year.
So was. We're college in Texas.
Hey, this dude was one of the top quarterbacks coming out of high school.
Number one pick.
He was the number one overall pick. This guy, if you look at his football resume alone, he has one of the coldest resumes in football. He just hasn't won a Super Bowl.
Right.
That's the only thing he hasn't done. And for you to disrespect this man like he's just some little dude you found up over there in Southwest or something is just disrespectful. This dude isn't. He's not just some run of the mill quarterback. This dude is an elite. This isn't just no some little dude you found around the corner.
Right.
And little does this guy know, what if Cam Newton was like, all right, this how I'm gonna take care of this situation. I got connections. Guess what, y'all? Y'all see this kid up over here? Let's go ahead and blackball this kid. This kid, where his scholarship say he's supposed to be going to? Oh, he got something from out here. He got something with Auburn. Oh yeah, let me make my phone call to Auburn real fast. Hey, this kid up over here, he's doing this and that. Y'all, I'm Cam Newton. Cam Newton has all access to everything over there at Auburn. They love him in Auburn.
Right.
So this, oh my goodness, what a dunk. But any access he has anything to that school, if he did, is a wrap already. That's why the other schools look at the same thing. And there have been there's college recruiters who specifically post on social media that say this. These kids need to watch what they post. They need to watch what they do because these cameras, these universities are looking at every single thing that you do.
Tell it.
It's not just what you do on the field.
Tell it.
They're looking at everything. They're looking at your background. I mean, let's just be honest. Look at what they did with Dez Bryant. They talked about his mom. They asked him about his mom being a crackhead.
Right.
That's how in depth some of these researchers go upon you. And this isn't a good look for this kid. I hope he recovers from it. And he just and he goes about it like, I made a really bad mistake, and I gotta make my amends with everything. And from now on, I'll try to work past this. But dude, you got a target on yourself right now.
B, what did you think? Did you see what did you think, man?
I think that's just the state of now. That's how kids are in today's time. There's no respect for elders. You know what I'm saying? I think, if that was are parents there or they just can't?
No, the parents be there.
Parents be there?
It's 7-on-7, so it's not like a summer camp or nothing. They basically 7-on-7 playing games all day, like flag football games, flag football league.
That's all it is. It's basically flag football.
Shut up and learn.
Mm-hmm.
This dude is a pro. He won on every level. He won a championship on every level, whatever kind of championship it was.
Yeah.
Whether it's state, title, playoff.
Yeah, exactly. He's been to a Super Bowl.
Right.
He won on every level.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't know everything. Shut the fuck up. I mean, shut up and learn. Shut up and learn.
You telling the truth, and that's probably what it.
Right.
That's why you need to address them.
And I guarantee that, like I said, that's gonna follow this kid for the rest of his rest of his playing career. So if he goes to another 7-on-7 and say Nike or Adidas have a 7-on-7, they invite him, or he gets invited to an All-American, get invited to the Under Armour All-American game or the Army All-American game. If he's that good of a player, that's still gonna follow him because the media is gonna show this clip.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna ask him. Because someone's gonna ask him. So what did you learn from your incident with Cam Newton? So I hope his parents basically laid the smackdown and told you, dude, don't ever embarrass us like that again.
Exactly.
Because like I said, if he was my son, I would have just basically knocked him out as soon as he walked in the door.
Yeah, he would have. Yeah, it would have been over.
Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, and I don't try to be, and I don't believe in child abuse, but I do believe in discipline.
Yeah.
And you got to sometimes knock some you got to use common sense. All those kids got phones out there, and now this video will go viral for the rest of your life.
Yeah, pretty much. All I got to do is just type. They're going to find out who his name is and just type it right on in.
Exactly.
And look, and I'm telling this for all the future scouts and everything. You guys have to really, really, really watch what you post. Watch what you're a part of post, because sometimes you don't have to post something. You could be in a video with somebody and you can get caught up. And I don't think that a lot of these kids don't understand the seriousness of this. I'll leave it at this. We all know how good Ricky Waters is as a running back, right?
Yes.
So he has Hall of Fame numbers.
Right.
When his name gets brought up in the Hall of Fame talks, what's the first thing they always say? For who? For what?
Crickets.
That is a old interview clip from him from was that in the 90s?
Yeah, when he was with the Eagles.
Yeah. So that old clip still gets talked about every time somebody says something about Ricky Waters.
And they always show the play when he intentionally missed the block.
Exactly.
Because they thought you weren't a team player.
Exactly. So if something like that can follow a Hall of Famer, a dude that should be potentially a Hall of Famer, then this is just ridiculous.
So
Let me
what
see.
we got? Who we got in the
Who we got?
comment?
Nick said, honestly, it depends how good he actually is, because if he started at 5, you won't follow him.
Well, yeah, because if he's a 5-star, obviously they'll try to find some way to make this go away. But like I said, some people are petty enough; they'll find this tape.
Oh yeah.
And if this is like 2 or 3 years from now, and this kid is a senior finna commit to a Division I school,
Man.
they're gonna play this tape. Because I'm gonna give you an example. I forgot the dude's name, but he played for he was on your Raiders last year. He got some dude from the Raiders. He got arrested for obviously he was evading police, and it was drag racing in the streets in Texas.
Yep.
I don't know who the dude's name, but the first thing that people brought up on Twitter, this was the same dude who got caught who was on the Seahawks last year, who tried to sneak a girl into the training camp dressed like one of the coaches.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
It's that same dude.
So this is gonna be this young man's resume.
Yeah.
I don't even know the kid's name. I don't even know that football player's name. But the same they said on Twitter, this was the same rookie who tried to sneak a female into training camp dressed as a head coach. I was like, come on.
Yeah. His playing days is done being immature.
And this young man does not want that to follow him.
And it's going to follow him. He already has 2 strikes in 1 year.
Sad.
It's going to follow him. Look at D'Angelo Russell. That stuff with Nick Young still follows him
To this day.
to this day.
That's true.
And that was what? Like about 4 or 5 years ago almost?
Exactly. It was in Kobe's last year.
Exactly.
Kobe's farewell tour, and then this stuff happens.
Exactly. And that still follows him.
Another thing I want to talk about the NFL, the Rooney Rule. Obviously,
Nobody follows that rule.
pretty much, and we're gonna talk about that in a minute. We're calling out names with the Timberwolves in a whole nother sport. HBO Real Sports is doing a a segment tonight on the Rudy Rule. They talked to Mike Tomlin as much as one of them. How some coaches just feel like they're only being used as tokens now, just so these owners and these front offices can hire the guys they already have in mind. I'll start with Knicks Raiders. We all knew that John Gruden was going to be the next head coach of the Raiders. Mm-hmm. We knew weeks before he signed that he was signing a 10-year, $100 million contract. Uh-huh. But they went and interviewed T. Martin, my former volunteer, who was a wide receivers coach at SC, for the head coaching job. You know darn well you're not hiring T. Martin to be no head coach. Mm-hmm. Stop. Come on, man. All interviewing guys like Marvin Lewis or Hugh Jackson or obviously they interview Leslie Frazier because he's still on the Bills staff, but there's certain coaches who are not going to get you're interviewing knowing they're not going to get the job. Now, this whole situation with the Texans hiring David Culley was just basically to try to pacify Deshaun Watson. By the way, on that front, I was watching Good Morning Football. Shout out, favorite morning show on TV, and Peter Schrager had a mock trade involved because now there's a lot of buzz that the Panthers are going to go all in and try to trade for Deshaun Watson. Uh-huh. Tell me if you're the Texans. Obviously, Mark, we heard what you said last week about the Texans. Right. But entertain this mock trade, both of you guys. Uh-huh. The Texans, the Panthers send Christian McCaffrey, Robbie Anderson, Brian Burns, Teddy Bridgewater, and 2 first-round picks.
Wait. So they gonna send them 4 starters and some first-round picks?
Yes, for Deshaun Watson.
Man, they don't knock it off.
That was Peter Schrager's idea, not mine.
Man, he lost his mind. I don't care who it is.
So I'm gonna say it again. So Mark, you hear it again. You send Christian McCaffrey, Robbie Anderson, Brian Burns, Teddy Bridgewater, and 2 first-round picks to Houston for Deshaun Watson.
If I'm whatchamacallit, of course I'm saying yes. If
I'm Houston, I'm taking that easy.
Yeah, if you're the Panthers, you dumb as hell.
And you just gutted your team. You basically just traded your number 1 receiver. You traded your star running back,
one of the best running backs in the league.
Your young star defensive end. Obviously, Teddy Bridgewater. They weren't committed to Teddy Bridgewater anyway, so.
Man, that makes 0 sense. That is dumb. But all they get is Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy. You feel knock it off
because David Tepper, the new owner, he's a very aggressive guy. He was in the Steelers ownership for many years, and they said he wants to make a big move, obviously to get Carolina back, in the Super Bowl.
Does he believe in what's his name that much? Do they still have Devin Funchess?
No, I think Devin Funchess sat the year out. He was actually in Green Bay, going to Green Bay, but he sat the year out for COVID.
Okay, so there's no Devin Funchess, and they only have DJ Moore.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, that's dumb. That's dumb because if I remember, Robbie Anderson was top 10 in receiving yards.
I know he was on my fantasy team.
Yeah, that dude was balling this past year. So that's
him and Christian McCaffrey.
That makes there's a difference between being aggressive and being dumb. That's most definitely being dumb. That actually makes your team worse. Even though you're getting a great quarterback, but you losing on so many other aspects. Because now you need another receiver. Now you need another running back. You need another. You drafted a defensive end for a reason. So now you need another defensive end. So that doesn't make any sense.
What you think, Mark?
I agree with Nick. Everything he said, that don't make no sense. If you Carolina, like you trading away your whole offense just to get a quarterback who, don't get me wrong, he's really good, but he's not winning the Super Bowls by himself.
Good point.
Look, I'll leave it like this. Like Carolina won how many games last year? What, 6?
Yeah, because they picked right ahead of us.
So they still, with that right there, won more games than what Deshaun Watson did. Let's just if you're gonna break it down like that, with that core, they still won more games than he did. Right. So if you get rid of that core and add it up over there and just bring Deshaun Watson over there, you really think just bringing him over there is enough to make up for all that production that you just got rid of? No way. Deshaun Watson can't run and catch for almost 200 yards a game if he really wanted to.
And they're giving the keys to Matt Rule to run the show. So,
oh my goodness, this is ridiculous.
We got our weekly mock draft, and then we're gonna get into calling out names. I have this week's mock draft coming from the Athletic. So let's obviously do the top 10 picks. They have all their staff writers who cover the different teams chime in. So let's get your thoughts on this one. And by the way, next week we're gonna have Mel Kiper's 2.0 mock draft. It's coming out Thursday. We got obviously still Trevor Lawrence going to Jacksonville. Number 2, this really keeps. Someone tell me this is gonna happen. Zach Wilson to the Jets. Number 2. Number 3.
I don't get that, but go ahead.
The Dolphins getting Devontae Smith.
Okay.
Number 4, the Falcons taking Justin Fields. So that means Matty Ice is going.
I think he's going anyway.
This one is interesting. And I guarantee Mark's face is going to probably go into Jordan what if mode when he hears this. Yours is too.
What's that?
Jamar Chase to the Bengals.
All right.
Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, huh? And T Higgins.
Yeah, I can see that.
And Joe Mixon.
I can see that, but me personally, I still think they should draft the lineman from Oregon. Only because even if they still get him, they still don't have no line.
And you do not want to have Joe Burrow have 2 seasons back-to-back injuries.
Exactly, because that dude from Oregon is very good.
And go
he's
figure.
A big upgrade for their offensive line.
And go figure. The next pick would have been Penei Sewell to the Eagles.
Wow. They need offensive line help, too. That would have been a great pick for them.
Well, they just need help. Number 7, you have the Lions taking Jalen Waddle. Speaking of Carolina, now this is what I don't understand. Now we're talking about all this Deshaun Watson stuff, but in the Athletic has them taking Trey Lance at number 8.
Oh, please.
And then my Broncos, Caleb Farley, number 9, and then Patrick Surtain at number 10. Let's scroll down to see who are on the rest of our teams. Ben, your Chargers, Elijah Vera Tucker, the O-lineman from SC.
He's very good.
Let's see where we're at now.
Yeah, that's exactly what y'all need.
Nick Freese, your young Las Vegas Raiders, taking Gregory Rousseau, the edge rusher from the U.
He's pretty good, too. I still rather get the linebacker from Notre Dame.
And Mark, at number 30, your Buffalo Bills would take Liam Eichenberg, who's an offensive tackle from Notre Dame.
Oh, I know who he is. Yeah, he's pretty good, too.
I'm not mad at that. I want Najee Harris, but I'm not mad at that.
By the way, I was speaking of Good Morning Football. They said the perfect place for Patrick Peterson to go is the Chiefs.
Why?
Because obviously they're going to lose Rashad Breeland, the relationship with Honey Badger, and then I think Sean O'Hara said he should go to Tampa Bay because he played for Blues Arians. Mark, actually going like this. They suggested J.J. White go to the Bills.
Yeah.
No,
Bills need the pass rusher.
I suggest Patrick Peterson go to the field.
Oh yeah. You don't believe your boy Levi Wallace?
Do not start, man. It's off season. Man. We're not do that. We're not talking. Not spoil this dude's birthday bringing up Levi Wallace, man.
Listen. I'm not bashing no more black men.
Okay.
I hope we're gonna remember that when Leslie Frazier is still the defensive coordinator next year. So, all right, gentlemen, it's time for the segment of the day. You know what it is. Obviously, you got people who say good things, who say stupid things. We give them their props when they say something smart, but when they say something dumb, they gotta get called out. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the segment that's often imitated. It's never duplicated. It is time for calling out names. The segment where we basically let a few people have it, pause on either, and then we also call up specific people on our favorite teams. So I should go first. And I'm going to start with the New York Mets.
Uh-oh.
There was some breaking news last week. The New York Mets announced that Tim Tebow is retiring from baseball.
Oh,
Don't nobody give a damn what Ja Rule think about right now.
So let me get this straight. Y'all made the announcement that a minor league baseball player retired. Tim,
Gives a damn.
y'all made the announcement that Tim Tebow is retiring from baseball.
What better is going on with the New York Mets?
They have all these other issues.
I mean, yeah, but what positive thing could they have come out their organization?
Well, I don't know what was positive about that. He never made it to the majors. I never heard a press release for a minor league baseball player.
That's the Tebow effect.
Man, stop. Man, I lived through Tebow, man.
Tim Tebow all the way.
Yeah, I lived through Tebow mania. Let's stay in the sport of baseball. You guys know who Kevin Mather is?
Who's Kevin Mather?
Well, he was the CEO of the Seattle Mariners
Oh,
until yesterday when he resigned because video leaked of him saying something racist.
oh.
He was at an event and he said something about players who have an issue who don't speak fluent English. Particularly two players on his team, one being of Latino descent and one being of Japanese descent. So this is what he said. Over a course of a 45-minute chat to a local Rotary club in early February, Mariner CEO Kevin Mather disparaged a Japanese player for not learning English, belittled a star prospect from the Dominican Republic for his language skills, and derided another top prospect while admitting to manipulating his service time. He called his team's best pitcher boring and embellished the pitcher's actions in a clubhouse incident. Told another falsehood about a well-represented veteran and complained that the franchise's best player over the past decade was overpaid. This dude, so come on, man.
So
God, he's right. I mean, are white people? Are y'all not watching Are y'all not watching the TV right now?
I was about to say, so the sport that has the three major American sports, baseball has the least amount of English speakers, and you're going to say something off the wall like that. That's definitely not smart at all. Especially considering he's talking all this trash about, you know, the Japanese players and like the players from the Dominican Republic. And if you really look at baseball, those players from those regions are saving baseball, especially the ones from the Dominican Republic and like Puerto Rico and those areas.
Yes.
The Caribbean area is saving baseball. They are saving baseball. If it wasn't for some of the best players in baseball are from that area. Like, that doesn't make any sense. That's just dumb. That's the reason why baseball cannot ever take the next step to being as good as it really should be. Baseball, in all actuality, should really be up there with football and basketball, but it's not because of issues like this.
By the way, only 8% blacks in baseball. Time for our once in a time chance to call out Skip Bayless for something he said bad about LeBron.
Oh God, what do you say now?
So LeBron last week, if y'all did not know, he became the third player in NBA history to reach 35,000 points.
Shout out to Bron.
Shout out to Bron.
So Skip, yes. And Skip said, well, it seemed like it took him 35,000 games to do it. Well, number one, if you paid attention, he actually did it quicker than Kareem and Karl Malone did it.
Smart guy.
But I'm gonna leave that up. But that's that. I don't give Skip that much clout. Next, Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley.
Him and Skip is the same person.
And he must be.
Gotta be.
And he must be because last week when it was announced who the starters were in the All-Star game, TNT always picks their reserves. They all have all their analysts pick their reserves. Charles Barkley had Jordan Clarkson as one of his reserves.
Over who?
Over Anthony Davis.
What? Wait a second. Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that he has somebody who, at the very best of their game, is a 6-man compared to a perennial all-star, top 10 player in the league,
Yes.
and said that he deserves.
He said
He's picking him into the all-star reserves over Anthony Davis.
yes, he said that Jordan Clarkson is an all-star and Anthony Davis is not an all-star this year. I'm like, wrong.
What in the world is he talking about?
So I really don't know.
That right there. No matter, listen, and I'm not a Laker fan at all. No matter how much I don't like them, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, Anthony Davis and LeBron shouldn't be this and that. These dudes are 2 top 10 players in the game. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
So your guy Nick Foster, he says Clarkson over Gobert 100. No. Jordan
Nick,
Clarkson
Nick, stop.
Jordan Clarkson is good, and you're talking to a guy who was a Lakers fan. He was a steal, 2nd round, 46 pick. He is not an all-star
At all.
He's a good player. He's going to be the 6th man of the year probably, but he's not an all-star. And stop it. And Barkley knew better. Stop.
I can't take a man seriously.
He had DeMar DeRozan as an all-star. I mean, come on, dude. Stop it. I came with the madness. Mark, you got anybody you want to call out? Because we're going to have a really interesting discussion in the people that Nick has to call out.
No, I don't have nobody to call out.
You're celebrating, so I'm not shocked. Let me go ahead, Nick.
First person I'm calling out is most definitely. I'm calling out the local Laker fans out here in Los Angeles.
Yeah. Relax.
Laker fans.
Relax.
Y'all act like some of the most spoiled people in the world sometimes.
Forgive us.
Yes, I understand that y'all have a rich history of greatness and all that stuff. But let's just be honest. This is the best the Lakers have been since Kobe. Really? Relax. The Lakers are they're still number 2 throughout all this in the West. They're still number 2. Relax. It's not that bad. Anthony Davis is hurt. He's going to come back. LeBron's played a couple of bad games. Okay, if you look at the Miami Heat, they played a whole lot of terrible games because they still have some of this bubble hangover going on. Like, come on, man. Just relax. Stop acting like a bunch of spoiled brats. Enjoy y'all. Y'all won the championship last year.
Okay.
Just relax. Y'all will be okay.
They said, well, so your man Nick Foster said that AD's having a down year. I agree. He's not having an Anthony Davis year, but he's still an all-star, and he's dang sure better than Jordan Clarkson on his worst day.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear that. I want to see Anthony Davis averaging 26 and 12. But if he's not playing, but I can live with 22 and 8 because I know eventually he'll deliver that in the playoffs. Go ahead, Nick. Shout out to my sister Kenya. Happy birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Oh yeah, most definitely happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Shout out all the Pisces people who are watching.
Yeah, the ones that's watching. I'm not going past that. I have.
Wait a minute, man.
Man, we should not.
No, Mark, you know you're my boy. You don't even worry about that. Who else am I calling out? I'm most definitely calling out these NBA refs.
Oh boy.
NBA refs. My goodness. Y'all job is not easy. I'm not saying the referee's job is easy at all. But when's the last time have you seen a referee call an offensive foul in that situation?
1993, probably.
If that. I've never seen that ever. Here's my whole thing. They say that that Kawhi initiated the contact. No, he did not. You watch the play in slow motion. James Harden initiated the contact. That was already a foul right there.
It was a flop.
Thank you. And then he does the same. I've seen James Harden do the same exact move many times.
Don't get me started.
that drive to the basket. The same thing Kawhi did. I've seen James Harden do. I've seen LeBron do it. I've seen Kevin Durant. I've seen every single superstar does that same exact move.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And it never gets called. If it gets called, it gets called early in the game. No way in the world when there's a deciding factor right there, you calling that foul. That makes absolutely no sense, none whatsoever. And it doesn't help that James Harden did the flop of the millennium when that happened. But hey, that's what he does.
Question, gentlemen.
Yes.
Should the NBA get rid of the last 2-minute report? Because obviously, if it's not going to change, if you're not going to correct what was a bad call, why even announce it? You know,
I don't see the purpose of it. At that point, it's just a spit in the face of the person who lost.
because they're going to protect the refs. They're going to protect the refs regardless. Because they don't want to seem like the refs made a mistake. Because then that makes them look bad.
Yeah. Oh, the referee. Oh, this shouldn't have happened. This part of the game. Okay, I don't care about that. I already knew that that wasn't supposed to happen. So what do you basically verifying something I already knew? It doesn't help me none no more. I'm already probably to my next game now. I don't care about your little stupid report saying that this play and this and that. No, nobody cares about that no more. If it doesn't happen during the game, then y'all shouldn't be talking about it at all. Who cares?
Now I know who the next person y'all calling out. Because B, you're going to have to cut the beat on this one. Because we got to discuss this.
Who is that? Oh yeah, they ain't no beat going on.
Yeah, there is no beat.
Oh yeah, I'll let you go ahead and announce that one.
We got to talk about what the Minnesota Timberwolves did on Sunday night.
There we go. The disrespect.
For those who haven't heard the news, the Minnesota Timberwolves fired head coach Ryan Saunders, of course, who's the son of the late great Flip Saunders. By the way, got a Woj bomb. Breaking news, right quick.
What happened?
It might not seem like major, but I think this is very important.
What's that?
Agent Wojnarowski is reporting the Nets are waiving 3 players: Noah Vonleh, Iman Shumpert, and a person they just signed, in Andre Roberson, ahead of the deadline, because tomorrow deals become fully guaranteed by tomorrow. And there's talk about them being one of the teams that could make a run at Andre Drummond.
Here's my whole thing with that. So the Cavaliers, they're in the same aren't they in the same division as right?
Right.
So why would you help your division opponent?
Then I think this is, and I think this I preempt this strike because the trade deadline is not for another month.
Exactly.
So now they're just gonna have to wait. They get rid of these 3 non-guarantee contracts, and now whenever Drummond gets bought out, they can swoop him up. But we'll see. But let's get back to the story. So if y'all haven't heard, like I just said, the Minnesota Timberwolves fired their coach Ryan Saunders after, I think, 2 or 3 years. He's of course the son of the late Flip Saunders, their former head coach, who we know we lost in 2015 from 2014 from a bout. No, it was 2015 from a bout with cancer. He was the coach when Minnesota went to the Western Conference Finals in 2004 with KG and Sprewell and the crew.
I can't believe they did
But
that.
he had a 40-something and 90-something record over his time in Minnesota. But in total, he only had Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell for a total of like 7 games.
Thank you.
So not only did you just fire a young coach, you fired a person who was in the Timberwolves family.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand. Glenn, and this is KG's beef with Glenn Taylor. He don't trust him. And now you know the story. And B, we talked about this early in the beginning of Sports for You about the Timberwolves being up for sale and KG starting a group to trying to buy the Timberwolves. So this story was brought up because they didn't think, okay, KG, that they would make a coaching change when they're in the middle of a sale. Well, they did, but the way they did it was foul. So they have a staff. One of the guys on their staff is a guy named David Vanderpool. He was assistant with the Blazers, and he was the assistant head coach. Somehow, Gerson Rosas, who's the GM, he came from the Morey tree in Houston. He hires a guy named Chris Finch from the Toronto Raptors, assistant coach from the Toronto Raptors. Now, here's the problem. You basically had this planned out that you were going to hire this guy.
Yep.
And you just waited and waited for Ryan Saunders to basically screw up on the job. And then you just fired this guy, and then you didn't even interview any of your assistants. You basically had this guy already ready to take the job the same day he got fired. The same day you fired this guy, and the next thing you know, this dude's already getting hired. Come on, man.
Are you? If I'm a player for the Timberwolves, I'm looking at this when contract expires, and I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. If I'm Karl Anthony Towns,
By the way, he said he wants to stay in Minnesota.
If I was him, I wouldn't want to stay after this move. Only off the simple fact of it's just what KG said. You cannot trust this dude because we all know how great of a coach Flip Saunders was, especially what he did for that organization. if he's one of the people when you think of the Timberwolves, he's most definitely one of the people that you think about first.
Right.
You know, you think about him, KG, Spreeway. You know, there's certain people when you bring up, that's one of the first people you think about. He's definitely in the top 3. And for you to do, like you said, you basically did a family member like that.
Yeah.
You know, if I was the Saunders family, I wouldn't want nothing to do with the Timberwolves ever again.
Never.
And it's not about the simple fact of like you fired me. It's the way you did it.
I would not want nothing to do with them while Glenn Taylor is still the owner.
There we go. You know, as long as he's there, I'm cool on the organization because that's just like you just said. He's only coached D'Angelo Russell at Carl Towns for 7 games. That makes
7 games. Yep.
You can only do so much when your 2 best players haven't been playing together.
Right.
You know, Carl Towns is dealing with injury issues. D'Angelo Russell had his own injury issues. So, you know, you really didn't give him a chance. And let's be honest, the Timberwolves haven't done a great job of building anybody around those 2 players anyways. You know, you basically
Nope.
It was already a job where he was digging himself out of a hole anyways.
You let Jimmy Butler go because Jimmy Butler basically said, you know what, these guys are good, but they don't have it right here.
Yeah.
And you let him go for basically, obviously you got cut for Robert Covington. I mean, it's basically peanuts. I mean, come on,
Dude's not even on the team no more.
Pretty much.
And Jimmy Butler just went to a freaking finals last year.
Mark, what did you think when you heard this news, bro?
Yes, sir.
What did you think, Mark?
About what happened with Minnesota?
Yeah.
I'm with Nick, man. As an African American player, I wouldn't even want to sign there, re-sign there. I want to get out of there as soon as possible.
I'm out of there.
Yep, I'm out.
And it bothers me because it's not just the fact that how they fired Ryan Saunders. It's the fact that you brought in an outsider. Now, I don't know if y'all saw Dame and CJ McCollum. They were very vocal because obviously the assistant head coach is a brother, and he was on Portland staff a couple years ago. And they had no problem with, I mean, they wish Chris Finch, and I wish Chris Finch a good job. I wish him that he's success and everything. But this goes to Glenn Taylor, this GM, Gerson Rosas, who obviously learned from Daryl Morey in Houston. You don't go out and hire an outsider in the middle of the season. You basically try to keep some type of continuity together. And I bring this back when the Lakers fired Mike Brown. They should have. I said it then, and people didn't think I was serious, but I was serious. If you weren't bringing back Phil, just stay with Bernie Bickerstaff for the rest of the season. Do not hire Mike D'Antoni. And look what happened.
I don't think they should have got rid of Mike Brown in general. You can give him a chance.
And that's because we was ran by, and that's because Jim Buster was basically running us into the ground, just like you were saying with Minnesota. They're digging themselves a hole. By the way, Derrick Jones is playing, so he might be able to be in the dunk contest.
Oh, okay.
So, I didn't like it. I hated it. I mean, and like I said, I saw Karl-Anthony Towns say he wants to stay in Minnesota. He wants to be loyal. But I'm telling you right now, I know we've seen this movie with Minnesota. KG was the same way, and it took it took Tyronn Lue and Chauncey Billups forcing him to say, "No, dude, you're leaving Minnesota. It's time, man.
Yeah, he has
It's
to get him
time.
out of there.
It's time." They was at his house out here, and that was when the talks about he was going to be first going to the Lakers, but that didn't happen. God, KG. But and then when the account out that Boston got involved, and then Chauncey and Ty Lue told him, "Dog, you're going. No, you need to go. You've done it. You've done enough there. You've had your time is served there. You need to go and try to win one." And he did. He won the first year. Looking at Carmelo, yeah,
man, they showed Melo in Denver, boy. That was a different animal up over there.
Yeah. It's just when he ran into the Lakers in the playoffs. But otherwise, Carmelo balled when he was in Denver.
Yeah,
I hated that. So Minnesota,
y'all
foul.
Y'all are too foul.
So Glenn Taylor, go somewhere, sell the team to KG and get out the way. Gerson Rosas, you on the clock, buddy. You better get. You're not gonna win a championship, but you better get them boys to the playoffs hiring this dude.
Man, they ain't going to the playoffs.
No, because they're garbage.
Man, they got nobody else up over there that's good besides what you call him, Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, you could say D'Angelo Russell, but D'Angelo Russell not up on Karl Anthony Towns level.
So let me find out. Go to my another person I'm calling out on. Since we're talking Lakers, I gotta call out Frank Vogel.
Coach, you can't coach.
Why are you calling a play for Wesley Matthews with 24 seconds left in the game?
I told you he can't coach.
And number one, if you're going to call the play for Wesley Matthews, why are you calling the play? Why are you having him shoot when knowing that Miami can get the ball and still go up my extra basket? Come on, man. And he needs to. And these rotations our rotations stink right now.
Oh, yeah.
You're riding too long with Marc Gasol, man. Come on now.
Marc Gasol was garbage.
And
I'm sorry.
I'm just
Hey,
letting
John,
it at that.
Hey, John, I heard on that play that they actually called the play for LeBron.
Well, it sure didn't
They
look like
double
it.
team LeBron. That's how Wesley Matthews got the three.
Man, but not with 26 seconds left in the game.
He shouldn't have
Hold
took
on.
it.
Now that you brought up the coach, I'm calling out Ty Lue as well. I just thought about that.
I know. That's why I did that.
I just thought about that. Tyronn Lue, what in the hell was you doing not having Paul George play on for 8 minutes in the fourth quarter?
They said that he was on a minutes restriction.
I don't give a damn what minutes restriction he on. We playing against the Brooklyn Nets.
Hey, Nick,
Paul George was killing that game.
and Nick, it's a regular season game. It's meaningless to him.
Man, look. They already beat them already. You can't look, no matter what the situation is during the regular season, the last thing you want is for a team to say that they swept you. And have some type of pride. That's all I'm saying. You don't want nobody, even if it's just one win against a team, you don't want no team saying, oh, we got the advantage. We know we could beat them. We swept them already. That's the last thing you want.
Right.
That's the last thing you want. And to say he's on you, so you're gonna limit. Look, I hate when people say these players are on minute restrictions and they limit them in the fourth. That makes no sense.
You limit them in the first half. And then
If anything, you let them do their thing in the first quarter. You limit them in the second quarter. Limit them a little bit in the third, and let the first and fourth quarter. That's the quarters you let them do their thing.
Exactly.
You gotta let them go.
You gotta let them go because the first quarter they gotta get warmed up before the game. Second quarter you can go ahead and let them play a couple of minutes and they can chill. Third quarter is the same thing. Fourth quarter, because you can put them in at the end of the third, and then begin the fourth quarter with them in the game. Take them out for like a couple of minutes in the fourth, then bring them right back in. At the end of the game, in those situations, we needed Paul George in the game, and you did not. And for minute restrictions, you didn't put him in the game. Yeah, that's a block. That makes no sense. I'm not with that whole minute restriction. That's not a good excuse for me, player. No, none whatsoever, because that makes absolutely no sense.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's calling out names. Now, yeah, if y'all been following us, we've been obviously observing Black History Month. This is the final episode of Sports for You in the month of February. So I'm deciding I'm not gonna have someone we're gonna observe because I just thought I listened to this audio I heard yesterday. Let me explain why. I was somehow yesterday on 710, they found this audio of Morgan Freeman when he did an interview on 60 Minutes with Mike Wallace. And Morgan Freeman said something like, I'm tired of Black History Month. Why do we need to set aside a month for our history? I'm tired of you addressing me like I'm a black man. I'm a man. I don't want to address you as a white man. You're a man. So I salute every black person who has made this country the greatest as it is, from slavery and our ancestors to those who are currently on the grind now. I salute my brother Ben Reddy for starting Townhouse Media. I salute my brother Mark for bringing me on so we can have this podcast. I salute Nick Freeze for joining the podcast. Shout out to No Rules. Shout out to everyone under the umbrella and everyone who's out there trying to grind, right? Person of color, black, man, brown, man or woman, you are doing your thing. And another thing, people, can we and obviously they're gonna joke about me with this. Can we respect our women in the media for now, please?
Tough.
Nah, we need the other sound bite. Are you kidding me?
Stop it.
Are you?
Stop it, man. But I'm tired of hearing these stories about about women getting objectified in the locker rooms. Lana Rizzo, who used to be the Dodgers reporter for Sportsnet LA. She just resigned because obviously she wants to be close to the family, so she's moving back.
What's her name?
Alana Rizzo. She's the
I thought you said Lizzo. I'm going to say she was up over there.
nah, not her. But by the way,
Yeah.
by the way, the Dodgers cleaned house
Nicholas.
yesterday. They won all the sports broadcasters, Southern California Sports Broadcaster Awards yesterday.
Oh, for real? Good.
So but I want to see our people of color, and especially those women of color, get the respect that they deserve, and don't just players. If you see a woman in the locker room, let her come in there and do her job. You do not have to ask her for her number. You don't have to offer her the dinner. You don't have to do all
Bro.
that.
I'm about, man. Hey, look. Here's my whole thing. Players.
I thought you were about to say offer something else.
Man, that's
And
what it sounds like.
Well, that's what they're trying to lead to.
Yeah.
So, but they want to do it discreetly. But no, don't do that. Let the women do their jobs. They're being professional.
Players, act like y'all got something before. Jesus, is this a woman reporter?
Thank you.
That's all you have to do. Act like you got something before.
Stop acting like you're 12. Like a woman. It's the first time you've seen a girl before, dude. Stop.
Yeah, especially considering you run across women all the time. Like, come on, dude, relax.
So our final segment for the main event. I want to salute a classic movie. Last week was the 25-year anniversary to one of my favorite sports movies. Funny movie of all time. One of the funniest movies.
What's that?
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I saw when Adam Sandler posted about it.
And yes, that's what I was getting there. So Adam Sandler goes on Twitter, and he said he hasn't golfed in 25 years. So he golfed. He hasn't swung a club in 25 years.
Hey, golf?
Nah, not Jared Goff. So he went in here. You funny. So he went ahead and he
was
he redid the whole play from Happy Gilmore where he basically sent the golf ball like 2,000 feet or whatever. And then you had Christopher McDonald who plays Shooter McGavin do the shooter scene.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Happy Gilmore rank as far as like sports movies? Obviously, it's not like up there in the upper echelon, but it's like one of the funniest ones to me. Like when you think like got movies like Old School and stuff like that. Like like.
I just want to ask one question.
What's that?
Is Happy Gilmore better than Necessary Roughness?
Is Happy Gilmore better than Necessary Roughness?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, that's
a
cold question.
Yeah. It's not. Nah,
Yeah,
you're right. You're right.
I'm gonna go with no.
Yeah, I agree. It's not better.
You have to find a comedy sports movie to put that with.
With Happy Gilmore. Well, Sandler, you think about he did Happy Gilmore. He did The Waterboy. Even the remake of The Longest Yard.
Which one of them is funnier?
Out of which ones?
Out of what you call it?
Happy Gilmore, The
Gilmore
Waterboy,
and Waterboy.
Oh, it's The Waterboy.
Waterboy is hilarious.
It's the Waterboy.
Waterboy is hilarious.
It's The Waterboy.
Yeah.
And Nick, don't ask that question no more. It's Waterboy easy.
Yeah. Okay. I have to make sure.
It ain't close.
Yeah, it ain't close.
That's probably one of Sandler's like peak. That was like peak Sandler in like the late '90s, late '90s. So
What?
He can do no wrong around that time.
That nigga was batting 1,000 right there.
Yeah, for real. He was the man around that time.
So we gonna head on out of here. We're gonna let Mark continue celebrating his birthday.
Yes, sir.
And thank
All
y'all
right,
for tuning in.
appreciate it.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. Enjoy yourself.
All right, man. Next week, make sure you're ready to be a GM. So let's just set it now. Do y'all want to, when you flip the coin, do y'all want to decide who gets LeBron, who gets KD, or y'all want to make that decision now? Because obviously, whoever gets,
I don't care. I'll choose Kevin Durant.
you'll Kevin Durant. So Mark, you'll have LeBron. Okay. So then next week when we do the coin toss, with whoever wins, they'll pick first, and then whoever doesn't win, they'll pick first when it comes to the reserves. So thank y'all again for joining us tonight for Sports for You. All right, brother, man. Have fun, man. We'll see you when you get back,
All right,
man.
y'all.
Be safe.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
So now we're gonna head on out. So tune in next week to our Sports for You draft, All-Star Draft Extravaganza, where GM Mark and GM Nick face off to see who drafts the better All-Star team. I'll be commissioner. Ben Reddy will be the judge. And we'll see who drafts better, because obviously next week will be the official All-Star draft next Thursday. So we'll check that out. We'll have latest on what's going on in the NFL, latest in the NBA. Spring training is starting this weekend. That's good to hear. So hopefully, and by the way, shout out to Mike Trout, who was named number 1 again on the MLB's top 100 players list.
As he should, man. Come on, man.
Mookie Betts, Mike Trout.
Mike Trout number 1.
Mookie Betts was 2. By the way, Jacob deGrom was the only pitcher in the top 10. He was number 3.
That's better than McCutcheon.
Yes. Even prime McCutcheon, he's better. Even in McCutcheon's prime. Yes. That's
nothing against McCutcheon.
McCutcheon.
Mookie just that real.
Especially baby Griffin.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Griffey. Glad he's back in the MLB too.
Yeah, for real.
So hopefully get more diversity, more inclusion with MLB base. MLB only 8% black. That's just, come on. We building up all these baseball fields in the inner city. Come on, let's do better. Do better, MLB. So next week we'll have our All-Star draft. We're gonna talk some NFL. Maybe talk a little MLB, depending on how spring training goes. But obviously, we'll definitely look ahead to All-Star weekend and put a recap pretty much the first half of the NBA season, who's the first half MVP, and all that other stuff. And here's the play. You're looking at right now the highlights.
Well, that's the first 3.
This is Luka. Luka. This is the highlights of the Mavericks Celtics game we watched in the studio.
You got to watch how this the series of events that happened. Look, wow.
This was just a great game. Jaylen Brown hit that one. There we go. They was up one. Then Luka said, "Okay, you gonna have Daniel Tice against me, huh?
Look.
Yeah. Step back, whop, and then let's go to the next. And then what was it happened here? Jaylen Brown said, "Yeah, he's too small. I got him."
Yeah.
But then Luka said, "Okay, just give me the ball. Let's go." And
Look,
nobody picked him.
Look at your boy.
Nobody picked him up. Good pick right there by Tim Hardaway Jr. They switched, and Luka said, "You know what?
Wow. Point 1.
Yes." So yeah, I'm that good. Who? Luka? Well, he didn't get a chance to.
He didn't get a chance to.
He was, but look, what Kobe was talking. The last game where Kobe was at, Kobe was talking smack to him in his own language.
Yep.
And Lucas turned around and was like, "Hey, who's talking about me in my own language?" And he realized it was like, man. So he was a Mamba mentality. He was a Mamba mentality disciple. No, he signed with the Jordan brand, even though he would have been the first athlete on Team LeBron if LeBron was getting his brand. Mm-hmm. He said he wanted to start it with Luka. So thank y'all again for joining us again. Make sure you follow us on social media, on Instagram at Sports For You Podcast and Townhouse Media Now. Like us on Facebook, Sports For You Podcast, Townhouse Media Now. Make sure you're also subscribing to Townhouse Media on YouTube. And also, like I said, download wherever you listen to your podcast: Apple, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Google Pod, Amazon Music, Stitcher Podcasts, and Verbal. And tell Alexa, play sports. Tell Alexa when you want to listen to Amazon Music, say, "Hey Alexa, play that Sports For You podcast." Episode 37. Episode 1 through 37. Play them all. Binge listen. From we're approaching that 50th and real soon, but we're gonna get to the 40th one first. So thank y'all again. Happy birthday, Mark. Hope you celebrate. We'll see you back here healthy and safe next week. I'm John. That's Nick Freeze.
Yes, sir.
Of course, working the board has been ready. Shout out to Candace Parker.
Man.
What were the Sparks thinking? By the way, shout out to Magic. He actually saluted her today. As obviously, she's gone now to Chicago. But Luka.
Will she have a statue at Staples Center?
She should. She could. But not before Lisa Leslie, though.
Oh, no.
So that's it. And we'll see y'all next week. Y'all be safe, be careful, and just enjoy life. Hug your loved ones.
Most definitely.
Tiger Woods, we praying for you. We out.